Here we go. So today, or actually I just got done doing a clog, but for the rest of the day, since I'm free, I'm going to be putting some lighting in my parents' crawl space. They have some lighting in there, but the whole back side you can't see. And I mean, yes, you can string up lights for like temporary, but I'd rather just pipe it in, and you're able to switch the bulbs out, and you can turn it on and off with a switch. And the back side is where the water main's at. And I always like lighting because it's easy to inspect stuff. You know, you want to check out how the foundation is. You want to check out, you know, how the joists are. If they're sinking, is there moisture? There could be a ton of different things. It just helps out. Especially if you're going down there to do maintenance and all you have to do is just flip a light on. I even put a bunch of lighting in my rental property in my crawl space. Kind of overkill, but when I have to go in the crawl space, it's very nice knowing that, oh, I can see it's as bright as day down there. So, FireCore sent me an item. It's a laser level. It's the FireCore green beam self-leveling 360 degree cross line laser G30. I already, let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, too bright. Now we're flashing. I already opened this up. I want to make sure it was legit. See how it felt. I'm going to use this laser to get a straight line running the conduit for the lighting. And when you're running lighting, you want to make sure it's straight and you're not measuring a million times. It just makes everything look nice and kosher. When they sent me the email, they already told me it's not a frequently used tool for DIYers, which is true. But when you need it bad. I can't tell you how many times I didn't have one in my truck and I wish I did. Sounds stupid. Like, for example, like you're hanging up just, you know, two pictures side by side, and now you're measuring off the ceiling, and don't forget, drywall's not straight. There could be a bump in the ceiling. There could be the joint, the drywall joint, and now it could be pushing it down a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch. So now those two pictures aren't going to be level. That's just one example. It could be used for shelves, windows, doors. What comes to mind is if you install can lighting, say if you're adding a string of them, you have to use a laser if you want to look legit, because nobody wants can lights that are one over here, one over here, one over here. I've always used the laser when doing can lights. Oh, I almost forgot. Most important thing. This thing's actually really affordable. It's like 50 bucks on Amazon. So I love cheaper tools. There's always a place for cheaper tools. I run the Milwaukee's, which is M12, 12 volt, 18 volt, and then I have Ryobi's. I love my Ryobi's. I use my Ryobi's when I know I'm not going to use stuff too much, even though I have Ryobi's that last forever. But then there's certain things that don't last so long. But this thing, actually, I think is actually a good purchase just because it's so affordable. I mean, it's 50 bucks. It's a 360 laser. It's green. It shoots all the way around the room, and then you can do the vertical line also. But what I liked when FireCore emailed me, they said that they want me to review the laser. But enough of that. I'll get you guys some shots. So this is the lighting they got. But this whole back side, I'll cover it up. You can't see nothing back here. Kind of looks brighter than it is, but it really isn't bright at all. So I'm just going to branch off of this light right here. This light or box. I'm going to come out the side of this 1900, and I'm gonna 90. Probably put a kick in it too. And go over here. Get cobwebs all over. Once you come over through here, we're gonna take it, and I gotta figure out where I want to put it exactly. I want to keep it out of the walking path. I don't feel like smashing bulbs, but probably I'm thinking, well, we can put it right in the middle. You don't have to necessarily walk in the middle. So I'll just probably put it right over the boxes, right here in the center. So I'm gonna pop this thing down, shut the power off, so you don't blow the place up. I'll just take it off the box for right now. Come on. There we go. Perfect. All taped up too. We'll punch this out. Put a connector in here. I always like to take with my hand as much as I can, and then I'll leave enough room so I can just tighten it with channel locks. Now you know you have a good bond right now. You don't have no loose lock nuts. So all I'm gonna do is measure from the box to the joist, which is, we'll say, 12 7/8. I'm going to add a 1/2 inch on that because I can always cut it down. Because once I'm going to put a 90 in it and a kick. It'll just be a 90, and then I'm going to kick it up because by the time it comes down, it's going to run into the I-beam. So I'll put a little kick in it. That's why I'm adding a little extra. I'm not going to get too fancy. Try to get all crazy with the measurements. So I had to cut this pipe since I couldn't get it in here. Couldn't fit it. So 13 3/8. Right there. Two different ways of doing it. You have the star, which is the back of your 90, or you have the arrow. So that mark we put, if I put that right on the star, that would be perfect. We don't have to do nothing. You would have to measure, if we were measuring out this way, you'd have to put the bender so it's facing like this on the star. Or, say if the pipe was so long I can't fit it up there, or you want 10 feet sticking up in the air, you would use the arrow. And then it says right on here, it says there's a 5-inch take up. But just so it's not complicated, we'll see. We'll just put it on. See how it's right on the star. And actually, we have to put a level on this too. Okay. Usually would step on it, press for room. I'm not going to run in and out 30 times. No, you shouldn't do it like this. It's making my life harder. I don't have room. Put a level on it. Oh, this is old school. I think I had this, I forgot where I got this conduit from. It's not newer conduit. This is thicker conduit. This is older. I don't know where I got it from. So yeah, it's usually easy to bend 1/2-inch conduit. But it's not helping me out that I'm pressed for space. Okay, there it is. There's the 90. Now, let's see if you guys can actually see this, but you guys can see that. So I'm just gonna put a kick in it and then come down with it. You make sure the pipe is straight too. I mean, when you have more expensive pipe, like rigid and all that, that's a different story. I wouldn't be guessing like this, but it's 1/2 inch. It's cheap. Well, it's more expensive nowadays, but... Oh, where's my level? I'm gonna make sure the pipe is straight since I'm working off a piece of wood. See no dog legs. Probably too much. We'll find out. So you guys can see, I'm just kind of getting it set. All I'm gonna do now is make a mark, cut that pipe right there, right at the edge of the box. I like to make stuff simple, stupid. Mark, cut it. Ream it. Nice little tool, or you can use channel locks. Ream the other side because I cut it to get it in here. When you're reaming it, every time you cut it, you have burrs. You don't want that on your wire. So we'll screw the support in. Okay, so now it's supported. And then tighten up the connector. Oh wow, there's a bunch of metal on this thing. Oh, from me cutting in here, making a mess. Don't want to blow it up. Don't forget that light's live. Good. Now we're from here. We're gonna have to. Oh, split my light. Okay. We're gonna have to come over. And then we're going to have to 90, and we're going to kick down. Because it's going to, right up there, it's going to 90. We're probably going to kick the 90 down here. So it'll clear the joist and we'll ride the bottom of the joists. So eyeball it. Okay, here's our pipe. Just the end of that. And then I want the center of the boxes. It's about 39 inch is the back of my 90. 39 inch. $39. Keep it simple. That's why I like the star. Makes life so much easier. I measured from this way. So my bender's gonna go like this. and put it on the star. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely thicker conduit. And look for it. Oh, I have them upside down. A lot of guys eyeball it. I like to put a level on it. Sometimes my eyes are a little crooked. Doesn't even matter if it's level or not, because sometimes you're still more open or more closed on the 90. So when you put it up there, you might not like it. You might have to add more to it. I could have added extra like the other one, but I wasn't too worried if I lose an eighth or a quarter when I kick this. Also, the reamer actually has a flat blade in there, so you're actually able to tighten up with this also. Put this in here. I'll show you guys what I mean. That's in there loosely. Now, if we didn't kick it, it would be angled down like that. So all I'm gonna do is bend it like this, so it curls down right here. Sometimes it gets kind of confusing. You might kick it the wrong way, and then you gotta bend it back, or by the time you're bending it back, it'll start looking pretty hokey. But if you're good, it matters how good you are. I'm gonna go like here, so I know it's gotta bend that way. You can always get rid of some kick too. You can always step on it. Yeah, should definitely brought a bigger piece of wood down here. I want no dog legs. Dog legs is when it's not bent straight. And it's all cockeyed. Good enough. Okay, let's see how that turned out. Too much kick. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was going. So, all you're gonna do is, you put on a flat piece, and you can just step on it and get rid of some kick. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. They're nice and they're not nice. I have issues with these. That's why I don't barely use them to tighten up stuff. Or it's just probably operator error. That's all. There we go. Okay, so the first support I used was actually a one-hole strap. I'm going to use minis because our boxes are a 1/2 inch off the bottom. So we're busting out the Firecore Laser 360 G30. I already put the batteries in, like I said earlier. I was already checking everything out. Here's the batteries right here. Make sure you don't let these batteries sit in there. All the, you know, a lot of these, anytime you get free batteries, most likely they're cheap, and you don't want to leave it in there in case they start leaking. That's how you ruin your laser or whatever you buy. So if you know if you know you're not gonna use it for a long time, don't leave the batteries in there. Okay, so turn this thing on. Show you guys what's going on. There's the on button right here. Okay. Right now you can see it's blinking, which I love. It's letting you know it's not level. Yes, it's self-adjusting, but if you're so off level, it's not going to work properly. So I just moved it over, and this little thing in here goes back and forth to make sure it's level. So it's level. And then we're going to turn on the vertical also. This is going to turn off the bottom. There's our vertical. And there's our X. Also, there's a setting where you could turn it down also. How bright the light is. So that's it being... I should probably turn the light off. There you go. I mean, you guys can still see it with the light on over here, but you can see the difference. You can barely see the difference when it turns it lower. Just to save battery. Also, it comes with this bracket, which actually comes in handy. I'll keep it at a perfect 90 right now. Don't look at the laser. It's still yelling at me. Oh, nope. There we go. Also, the cool thing about this bracket, you can adjust it. So I can have it straight. That's tight. See the magnets on it? Boom. So, our measurement, we're going to go off of, it's going to be 65.5. I got that by measuring off the I-beam to my pipe. I don't want to measure this end because it's, like I said, you can have the 90 open or two, you know, or 2 open, 2 closed. So you want it to match. So usually I go off the 90. And then I'll get my rest off of that. So this is a dot off. We'll say 65 5/8. Oh, come on. Yeah, imagine doing a tape measure every time, because I'm already having a hard time. This is a good standout too. This is my favorite. This one went to Home Depot trying a bunch of tape measures, and this was the best one that I found. Oh, come on, dude. Wow. Feels like one of those infomercials showing people struggle. Here we go. 65 5/8. I'm gonna go all the way down there and put a mark over there. Mark is 65 5/8. Get it. Wow. Wow, come on. 65 5/8. So mark it right here. That's good. Brought some electrical tape. There's markers you can get with for lasers. Makes life easier, but I'm not going to complicate it. This should be good enough. Put electrical tape on it, right in the center, let it hang. I haven't tried it like this yet, but it should work. I don't see why not, right? Turn this thing on. We want the vertical line, vertical, and then get on the center of that mark. I think I hit the tape. Can't see. We'll double check. But you see it's on the mark. We'll check right now. Okay, we're a dot off. Dot. Probably an 1/8. And I'm gonna say that's good. Okay, so I want to install an electrical box right here, and I want to put a mini right here. A mini is just this. It's just a support. You see how the pipe is a 1/2 inch off? Actually, I think it might be 3/8. Yeah, it's 3/8. It's the same spacing as a mini. So that's the bottom of the pipe. Oh, well, I guess a little bit more, but whatever. Should be the same. You don't have to do box offsets. That's all. I'm just gonna go. It's a 4-inch box. 4-inch box. 4-inch by 4-inch. It's a 1900 shallow. So all I'm gonna do is I want the box right in the center of that joist. So all I'm gonna do is. Oh, that thing's wiggling on me. Maybe I'll get the support on first. I'll just fight it. What are you doing? Hey, don't move, don't touch that laser. Come on. Don't. There you go. Better be lined up still. No, it's off now. Look what you did. Look what you did, baby girl. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So I measured it and made sure the pipe was straight. So it's a 4-inch box. I'm just gonna go in the center of it. And I'm gonna measure off 2 inches. Okay, I like to try to not use the concentric knockouts because you get stronger if you don't. Because you can go to 1/2 inch to 3/4. But I know I'm going to go all the way through, so I knock this one out, this one out. Add 2 connectors. Come on. tighter than that. Good. Good. So all we're going to do is slide it up there. Make sure the box is straight. Doesn't get tweaked. Screw it. So I'm just gonna add another mini right next to the box. Rim the pipe. First we'll tighten this up. Tighten the mini up. Good. Yeah, these minis, they're a little goofy. There's always some movement in them. Always some. So you can always hit a dot. Now I gotta figure out where I want my next box. You can always plan them out, you can install them, then take measurements. I'm just building as I go. Nothing too crazy. I add one here. Yeah, there's a cleanout right there in the water main. So I think I'm just gonna add one right here. And we have a 4-inch box. So all I'm gonna do is take a measurement off the pipe. And then measure the center of this, 24 5/8. 24 5/8. 24 5/8. 24 5/8. But don't forget we gotta take off 2 inches for the box. So that'll be 22 5/8. So that's our mark. I'm just gonna put a mini here. So we need another coupling up there. Get this in here. Wow. Also, I didn't say earlier, you just have to make sure the 1/2-inch EMT is supported within 3 foot of the electrical box and then 10-foot increments. So I'm within 3 feet there, and you don't need another support for 10 feet. So it'd be within 3 feet, 10 foot in between. I wouldn't want to do 10 feet, but that's what the book says. So we'll get a screw in here. And another 1900 shallow. Purposely put in shallow, so I mean, just it doesn't stick down as far. Usually I like deeps. 1900 deep. Same thing, it's gonna be fed right through. So I'll put 2 connectors on it. What are you doing? That box in there, tighten it up. Okay, screw it down. There we go. Another mini again. Now imagine you would have to measure each time if I didn't have this laser. Had to go grab some more pipe from the truck. So I pretty much just cheated. Instead of cutting down the pieces again. Oh, I was thinking where I want the box. Yeah, I just grabbed knee pads too. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm over here killing my knees in these rocks. So I want my box here. So all I do is measure up that box to the center. Which is 77 5/8 minus 2 inches. It's a 75 5/8. So I cut that outside already. And now we'll pre-build it. Pre-building everything makes everything easier. Ream it. You don't necessarily have to buy a reamer, like I said. All you have to do is, you can cut these off, the ends right here, and then you can clean the inside, and then you take the channel locks to clean the outside of it. That's how I used to do it for how long before I bought the reamer. But obviously, it's not going to work if you have the grip still on it. Milwaukee actually has channel locks with the ends already stripped, but I thought those Milwaukees were so cool, and I had nothing but issues with them, so they don't last very long. I need another 1900 box. Connector, and this is where we're ending it. So I'm not going to go all the way through it. Good. Pre-screw it on the end. good. We'll leave it in there loose for right now. Or, you know what? I'm just worried about the box being cockeyed, but we'll just leave it loose. Good. So obviously you want to make sure, I never tightened that up yet, so I want to make sure it's in the connector all the way. And you can see it's all the way in there. So there you go. There's a laser shooting all the way down. Man, I'm hoping it's not messing up my... The laser's hitting the camera and all that. Hopefully you guys can see this. But it's straight all the way down. That's nice. Nice professional. Makes life a lot easier. Imagine every single time I set a screw in there, I would have to measure off of something. Every single time. Or you would, you know, maybe do 3 separate marks or something. You could put the whole pipe down there, and then you can put the box on it, measure off of there, and then you'd go back and add minis. But then what's happening is when you screw these minis in, they'll like, here's a good example. I don't care where you put the screw at. The minis like to walk, and there's always some give in them, which is cool. Say this isn't perfectly, it's kind of straight, but you can always whack it. See, that one's not straight. Give it a little love tap, that's all. Actually, that is straight. That one on the end. Perfect. Days from the video. And that's a wrap with the conduit.